History doesn't lie. It whispers. And when you listen closely, you begin to notice something unsettling. Every great empire, no matter how powerful, advanced, or wealthy, collapses in almost the same way. Different centuries, different cultures, different religions, but the same pattern. The Roman Empire, the Ottoman Empire, the British Empire. They didn't fall because they were weak. They fell because they believed they were invincible. This is not a story about dates and battles. This is a story about power, corruption, and the slow blindness that comes when success lasts too long. By the end of this video, you won't just understand ancient empires, you'll understand something far more uncomfortable: why no empire, past or present, is immune. Every empire begins the same way. Not with luxury, not with excess, but with discipline. Rome. In its early days, Rome was not rich. Romans valued duty, sacrifice, military discipline, loyalty to the state. Power was earned, not inherited. Roman leaders lived modestly. Soldiers trained relentlessly. Corruption was punished harshly. The Ottomans. The Ottoman Empire began as a small frontier state. Its early rulers were ruthlessly organized, militarily innovative, religiously unified. The Janissaries, elite soldiers, were feared across continents. Merit mattered more than bloodline. The British Empire. Britain didn't conquer the world with size. It conquered with naval dominance, bureaucracy, trade networks, strategic patience. Early British leadership emphasized competence. Officials were expected to govern, not exploit. Here's the first pattern. Empires rise when systems matter more than individuals. But that never lasts. Victory is intoxicating. Once an empire expands far enough, the struggle that forged it disappears, and with it, discipline. Rome's shift. As Rome expanded, soldiers became mercenaries. Citizens no longer wanted to fight. Why risk your life when conquered lands provide food, slaves, and wealth? Military service became something you paid others to do. Ottoman comfort. Ottoman sultans moved from battlefields into palaces. Leadership became inherited, not earned. Some sultans ruled without ever seeing war. Decisions were made by courtiers, not commanders. British distance. British elites governed colonies they never visited. Decisions about India, Africa, and the Middle East were made in London drawing rooms. Real conditions were ignored. Second pattern. Empires fall when those in power stop understanding the ground they rule. Corruption doesn't begin with theft. It begins with exceptions. Rome allowed senators to enrich themselves temporarily. Ottoman officials collected fees. British administrators took commissions. Nothing illegal, just flexible. Over time, offices were bought, not earned. Loyalty shifted from the state to personal wealth. Laws applied differently depending on status. Rome's bureaucracy became bloated and inefficient. Ottoman tax collectors exploited provinces. British colonial systems prioritized extraction over stability. People at the top lived better than ever. People at the bottom grew resentful. Third pattern. Empires rot from the inside long before enemies attack. This is the most dangerous phase. The empire still looks strong. Buildings stand, armies march, money flows, but confidence turns into arrogance. Rome believed its borders were eternal. Ottomans believed prophecy guaranteed survival. Britain believed it was destined to rule forever. Warnings were dismissed. Reformers were ignored. Critics were silenced or mocked. Why fix what clearly works? Fourth pattern. Empires die when they confuse longevity with destiny. Expansion feels like strength. In reality, it's often the beginning of collapse. Rome grew so large it couldn't respond quickly. Messages took weeks. Armies arrived too late. The Ottomans controlled vast territories with different languages, cultures, and loyalties. Britain ruled over lands it could only control through force and bureaucracy. The cost of control exceeded the benefits. Empires become victims of their own size. Fifth pattern. When expansion outpaces governance, collapse accelerates. Empires don't usually fall to external enemies. They fall to internal fracture. Romans stopped seeing themselves as Romans first. Ottoman factions fought for influence. British society split over the cost and morality of empire. Identity fractures. Rich versus poor. Center versus province. Ruler versus ruled. Loyalty erodes. And when crises arrive, no one agrees on how to respond. Sixth pattern. Empires collapse when unity becomes optional. From the outside, collapse looks sudden. Rome fell in 476 AD. The Ottoman Empire ended after World War I. The British Empire collapsed in the mid-20th century, but the fall was centuries in the making. The final blow is never the cause. It's just the moment everything gives way. Barbarians didn't destroy Rome. They walked into an empty system. World War I didn't destroy the Ottomans. It exposed existing weakness. Decolonization didn't destroy Britain. It revealed the cost was unsustainable. Final pattern. Empires don't fall. They exhaust themselves. This isn't ancient trivia. This is a warning. Power without accountability decays. Wealth without responsibility corrodes. Success without humility blinds. History doesn't repeat because humans forget facts. It repeats because humans repeat behavior. Every empire believed they were different. Every empire was wrong. The Roman Empire thought it would last forever. So did the Ottomans. So did the British. They all looked unshakable until they weren't. History doesn't lie. It leaves patterns. The only question is, are we watching another empire walk the same path, believing it's immune?